Hi, welcome back to Straight Talk. We're trying to give you information about services and organizations that are available through the summer to help your kids with learning, with other activities, and to help you as parents as well. And we're learning about 3 or 4 different groups. And now we're learning about the Summer Funding Collaborative, which is an organization here in Baltimore. And joining me to talk all about it is Shoshana Davidoff-Gore. Shoshana, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it sounds like your organization is pretty amazing. I saw a list of people that are funding and put money into it. Give us an overview of the whole collaborative effort.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Summer Funding Collaborative is a group of grant-making organizations that come together to fund summer programs for youth and young adults in Baltimore City. The collaborative the collaborative grants funding to organizations that primarily serve youth and young adults that live in Baltimore City and that come from families with low incomes. And we really want to make sure that all Baltimore City youth are able to participate in youth-centered opportunities that meet their needs and their aspirations.
Now, you are a funding source for the most part, and you fund programs that put a grant application in. Is that how that works?
Yes, so I actually work for an organization that's called Baltimore's Promise, and Baltimore's Promise is a collective impact organization that supports youth development in Baltimore City. And one of the main ways that we do that is by convening systems partners, community members, parents, caregivers, and youth themselves to decision making and planning tables that ordinarily wouldn't exist. So the collaborative started in 2015 because funders and program providers were seeing that it was a really burdensome process for summer program providers to apply for grant funding to support their summer programs. So we developed a common application and have over time recruited more than 10 funding organizations that participate each year to grant between $3 and $5 million to summer program providers in Baltimore City. And this year, we're really excited to have funded 90 summer program providers that will provide about 10,000 seats for youth and young adults in Baltimore City. So myself, I'm not a funder, but I support the work of the 12 funding organizations that come together to make aligned decisions with themselves and with our systems partners, and then also in alignment with our community members, their feedback and their priorities.
Give me an example of one of the 10,000 groups that I mean, it's just so amazing. I've always believed in, from the bottom up. Let them decide what's good for their area, their neighborhood, their community, and let's give them some startup money and some support to make sure it's successful. It's just a great model. Give me some examples of some of the groups or organizations or kinds of programs.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's to your point, it's really key to hone in. One thing that's really unique about the Summer Funding Collaborative is that we do a community review process each year for all of our funding applications. So this year we worked with more than 150 youth, young adults, and parents and caregivers to review our 178 funding applications. And all of those community members were paid for their time and expertise, and then their feedback about the applications that they read actually helped to determine how that 5 million in funding was granted. So some of the programs that I'm really excited about. Last summer, I had the chance to visit a program called Dance and Be More programs. They are a program that supports older youth in Baltimore City who are really interested in theater and drama and acting. And so each year they put together an original show called Voices of Carmen, where youth and young adults get to be actors. They get to be in the band and the orchestra for the show and learn from professional musicians. They learn from professional acting coaches, and they also get paid through YouthWorks for their participation in that program and get to put on a culminating performance at the end of the summer. Another example of a program serving younger youth is Backyard Base Camp. And they're a nature-oriented program for younger folks. They're located at Bliss Meadows, which is an urban garden in Northeast Baltimore. And when I got to visit last summer, it was amazing. You could see, young kids, 3, 4, 5, 6, out in nature all day, exploring what it feels like to get your hands wet in a pond and to make mud pies and really connect with the environment around them.
Certainly something they are not going to see in the middle of the city. And it just makes so much sense to give them another example of, what's out there in the world. It's amazing. You were talking about the grants. So do you put a notice out about the grants when they're available so that, any group can apply? Is that correct?
Yeah, so the SFC prioritizes funding for summer program providers that primarily serve youth in Baltimore City and young people that serve youth from families with low incomes. And we put out a request for proposals every year. This year, the coming request for proposals will hit in early to mid fall, and any youth serving organization is eligible to apply for that funding as long as they're running a summer program that is, serving Baltimore City youth. In addition to that common application, we also want to make sure that our summer program providers are able to, be successful in their grant seeking and also successful in running their summer programming. So we provide professional development sessions about grant writing and program development. We provide a one-to-one application technical assistance. And we really want to make sure that community-based organizations, especially those in Baltimore that are led by Black and Brown leaders who have historically been under-resourced by traditional forms of philanthropy and grant funding, have access to these really vital resources.
And that'll be, and again, like you said, we're going to put your website and how to get hold of you guys on there. But it's just a wonderful, it's like you're taking all the things that people question about giving grant money, valuations and give support. And it sounds like you're really doing the right thing. So good luck. It's been amazing. I love the idea. Shoshana Davidoff-Gore, Summer Funding Collaborative. If you want to, if you're an organization or a group, get together, try to get some funding for your program. It sounds like, boy, it's amazing. And they're not government. That's even better. And it's great for everybody. So Shoshana, thank you so much for being on the show and good luck. It just sounds amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.